Hello there. 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 Hopes. Hope you can hear me. Hope you can hear me loud and clear. I had to turn off my phone there because I'm monitoring that on my chat. Hope you are well wherever you may be. I hope you are doing swimmingly. I really do wherever you may be. Welcome back to the Agostino Zinga Show, episode number 994. It should be episode number 994. If it's not 994, then I apologize, but it should be episode number 994. How you guys doing, people? 994, nuevo cuatro. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing fine. How am I doing? Very well, all things considered. Very well, all things considered. We're trying our best out here. So, most of you who are not on the Discord, are you in the Discord yet? Are you on my Discord yet? Are you a member of the Discord? If you're not a member of the Discord, I do implore you to click the link in the description down below to get access to my Discord server. You will want access to my Discord server because that's where I talk and discuss some behind the scenes stuff that you don't necessarily see on the channel. And it's usually in the moment. It's usually fresh. It's usually new. It's usually instant, right? I'm on there all the time. So make sure you join the Discord server for Tazs and Random Show. It's all one server together. A bunch of fun people in there. Bunch of nice little chats you can get involved in. So make sure you click the link down below in the description box and you'll find access to that said Discord server. Most probably should be the link there directly, or it should be in my link tree. There should be a link there directly, or it should be in my link tree. But I'm pretty sure there's a link in the link tree. So click the link in the link tree, not the wish list, not the Amazon wish list, not the become a member link, but the link tree link. There'll be a link there to a Discord server and you can get access to it. I'll make it easy next time. I'll just put the link down below in the description straight away. But for now, there's access to a Discord server via the link tree link in my description. So if you're on a Discord, you would have known this already. If you're on a Discord, you would have known this already. But unfortunately, I am very injured. Very, move a bit there. Very injured. As some of you might know, I had a very bad accident the other day where I fell off my bicycle, right? I was riding my fixed gear bicycle in these London streets that I kind of cohabit and stuff, right? Having a whale of a time, but I wasn't paying attention. And I'd done something really wrong. I'd done a really bad mistake. The mistake I'd done was this. I had an issue with my bike where the chain was coming loose off of the, what do you call that? The sprocket, whatever that fucking thing is called, that the chain goes around, right? Or your pedals. So it was coming loose. Mostly because the bike's not that great quality. Also because I hadn't pulled the back wheel back further and tightened it, to get the chain really nice and taut. But then, that happened. And then as I was riding my fixed gear, over time the chain would slip. And when the chain slips, it kind of like go in the back. It would kind of go behind that big chain thing where the pedals are, that big circular disc with the spikes on it. It'd go behind it. And as I pedal, it would get caught and it would cause the bike to stop. Now, if I'm riding regularly and I don't have my headphones on and I'm paying attention, I can usually hear the chain dropping. And I'll take my feet off the straps and I'll keep riding. But because I was listening to music very deeply, and on that particular day, I think I was racing to go to a supermarket that was closing at just before, it was closing in like 15 minutes. So I was kind of racing to the supermarket, trying to get there before it closes so that I could get some groceries before I went to the gym. My gym is 24/7, but the supermarket isn't. So I'm racing over there, I'm not paying attention, and then unfortunately, the chain slipped, this thing that usually happens, but because I'm pedaling really fast, I'm not paying attention, I end up fucking, my bike ends up stopping. I end up flipping over the handlebars, but because my feet are on the straps, I end up flipping twice, smash my head on the floor, shoulder on the floor, arm on the ground, right? Bang my arm on the ground. At the time, it felt really sore. At the time, my arm just felt really sore. That was it. It just felt really sore. I didn't really think much of it. I kind of stretched it out. No one came to help me, famously, as I mentioned before. And I decided to just stretch it out. Went to the gym anyway. I couldn't go to the supermarket. It was too late. Went to the gym anyway. Couldn't lift any weights because my arm was hurting, but I decided to use the treadmill. So I ran on the treadmill for like an hour. Came back home, my arm was still hurting, iced it. Got some ice cubes, put it in the flipping, cloth, padded it on the arm. And guess what happened? The swelling went down. I didn't really think much of it. I thought, you know what, in a couple of days it'll be fine. And mistakenly, that's why the whole point of retelling the story is this: common held beliefs. Always question common held beliefs and never just take on these, wives' tales. So I've heard people say, I've probably said myself many a time that, oh, you'll know if your bones are broken. You'll know if you have a broken bone. You know if you have a fracture because the pain will be excruciating. You won't be able to handle it. That's how you know something is broken, right? I'm sure some of you guys have heard the same thing. Like maybe you fell down, you cried to your mum, and your mum said, "Hey, let me see," and she touched it. Oh, see, if it was really broken, you'd be fucking screaming down the house, right? So I thought the same thing. I'd touch my elbow, I'd be like, hold on, so it hurts, don't get me wrong, but I also fell down on my arm. It doesn't feel super bad, so I didn't think much of it. Some days go by, a couple of weeks go by. That's when I started to get worried. A couple of weeks go by. Then January 1st comes around. I want to go to the gym. 1st of January, I want to get going. Get on my fucking goals. Let's go. New Year's resolutions. I can't do anything in the gym. I can't lift weights. I can't do jack shit. With my left arm at least. Then I started to get really concerned. Then the other day, when I jumped out of the shower, I looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, oh shit. My arms look very different in the mirror. One arm looks considerably smaller than the other. Right? And I was like, this is not good. Because obviously I'm overcompensated by using my right arm. Luckily it wasn't my right arm, right? Luckily it wasn't my wanking arm. But I thought, oh, this is a real problem. That's why I decided to go to the hospital. I went to hospital only because my left arm was starting to look considerably smaller, considerably skinnier, considerably slimmer, considerably less muscular than my right arm. That's when I was like, you know what? I can't be having that. So I went to hospital the other day, and guess what I found, boys and girls? Guess what I was told, boys and girls? Yep, you guessed it. I fractured my arm. I actually fractured my arm. Not sure if you can tell. It's weird. It's funny. It's weird. But I sent this to somebody earlier, and they thought it was my leg. They thought this X-ray picture was my leg. So, I'm always getting fat shamed, actually. It's really funny, isn't it? Men get fat shamed to a level that women couldn't even fathom, I think. I think men get fat shamed to a level that women couldn't even fathom. If you fat shamed a woman the way men get casually fat shamed, women they'd go fucking crazy. But it's good because it works on us. It works on us. Once I get my stuff going, I'm gonna be going on walks anyway to make sure my cardio's up and don't turn into more of a fat blob than I am at the moment. But I did find that quite interesting. Somebody thought that was actually my leg. Well, in fact, it's actually my arm. So I got an X-ray done the other day, and they found out via the X-ray that I did in fact fracture, aka break my arm. You can't really see it here, but if I zoom in on my elbow, you'll notice that the bone, the top bone? I guess top. The bone that's closest. The bone on my inside of my forearm is the one that's broken. Right here, there's a crack. You can see the crack right there. See that there? That crack right there. There's a crack right here. Boom, clean crack. So when I fell down on my arm at that time when I fell off my bike, I actually did break something. I fractured my elbow right there. I'm not sure if you can see it if you're watching, but it's right freaking there. Absolutely crazy work. Only I could do that, by the way. Only I could do such a thing. Only I could do such a thing. So yeah, my arm is actually broken right over there, which is unfortunate because now I've been told that I'm going to require surgery. Now I've been told I will require some form of surgery to get this arm back and running. And the nurse told me if I would have went sooner to the hospital, it might not have been the case. I might not have needed surgery if I went sooner. So I kind of fucked myself, really. I've only got myself to blame. So yeah, I'll need to get surgery at some point. Don't know when exactly, but I'll need to get surgery at some freaking point. So pray for me, by the way. Pray for me. But this is just a lesson to everybody out there. If you fall, if you get hurt, and the pain is excruciating, or the pain isn't that bad, go to hospital anyway. I'm one of those people that don't like to waste people's time. I've also got a little bit of that fucking toxic masculinity in me, where I want to like fug it out and, you know, run. I'm the type of person that will, if I have a cold, I'll go out for a run to quote unquote sweat it out. I want to fug out a fucking arm break and shit, you know, just stupid shit. So I suggest you don't follow my lead. And if you are feeling some type of pain and discomfort, please, 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 for the love of God, go and get it checked out. That's what you should do. Don't listen to me. Go and get it blood clot checked out, because oh my God, oh my freaking God, my arm is fucking bunged up. Absolutely perfect, right? Absolutely perfect. Anyway, before we continue, let me actually, I've got to change my chat quickly here. Big up Booth, I see you in the stream chat. Big up Booth. Big up blood clot Booth, I see you there in the stream chat. Let me just quickly change my settings here. I think I messed up my settings for the chat here. Let me make sure I've got everything going where it needs to be going. Let me put I have to put the YouTube one there as well, because I've messed that one up there. Apologies. Big up everybody in the stream chat that's here. I appreciate every single one of you. Bear with me 1 second as I quickly change these chat settings. And also big up Kimby Key. I see you too in the kick chat too. Who's that? Big up Kibbin Kick. Big up Kibbin Kick. Also, I see you there in the kick stream chat. I appreciate you also greatly. So yeah. My bone in my elbow is unfortunately broken. My bone in my elbow is unfortunately broken, but we will be on the mend soon. I may get a plate actually. That's what I'm looking forward to. I might get a little metal plate. I'm really looking forward to that. Fingers crossed that happens. If I get the metal plate, I'll be super fucking happy. But yeah, in case you're wondering, I did in fact fracture my arm. And now I've got a cast on my arm. Now I've got a cool little cast. I'm not sure if you can see it here, but I've got a cool little cast over here, if you can see. I've got a cool little cast. So prayers for me, prayers for me, prayers for me. Big up the stream chat, what you guys saying? Big up Somersault Gang from Booth Apocalypse. I appreciate you. Yep, big up Eddie as well here. Good to see you on the Nuruddin's football show the other day. Yeah, big up Eddie. Yeah. I love Nuruddin, man. Nuruddin's my guy. That guy Red Devils is my guy. Make sure you check out that guy Red Devils. He's definitely my guy. Make sure you check that guy out. Please make sure you check that guy out. Cool. Quickly moving on. Let's talk about this post. I thought this post was fascinating. Big up this person that shared this on Twitter. Big up Trades Union Congress that shared this on Twitter. A Dutch worker went viral after explaining to their American boss that they have a life outside of work. This is from the r/work reform subreddit. Hopefully this is real. I'm really hoping this is real. Hopefully this is real. So this is a post. It says the post on Reddit. The title says, "My American manager tried to write me up for a lack of commitment because I leave at 5 p.m. sharp. I work in the Netherlands," right? So this is brilliant because you're seeing the clash of work-life culture, or the clash of work culture from the American people to people here in Europe. I've seen people have some issues with that here in Europe who work for companies which are founded in Asia, especially places like Singapore and stuff. I've heard places like those people, they work really hard. Singaporean people don't mess about when it comes to work. They love working, outside of hours. They come super early. They're super committed. They work the whole 8 hours and not just like dossing around for the last 4 and shit. So that kind of contrast is a bit weird. And I've also heard people have some issues who are from the UK with people that work with headquarters are based in America. Because of I think sometimes people say that American people have really nice pleasantries to your face, but they can be really snaky behind your back. Whereas I think in the UK for the most part, you know if in your workplace, if your manager is not a fan of yours or doesn't rate you, you know if your colleague hates you. No one really pretends to be your friend. But I think they're saying in America, someone can pretend to be your friend, be all happy, smiley, but they could be sniping for your job, or they could be saying some bad things about you to people. But anyway, let's read the article. It says, "My American manager tried to write me up for a lack of commitment because I leave work at 5 p.m. sharp. I work for a Dutch branch of a large US tech company. We recently got a new middle manager based in New York. He seemed like a nice guy at first, but it turns out he's totally obsessed with quote-unquote hustle culture." Fucking hell. Is anything worse? Working for a company where one of the managers believes in hustle culture. It's like, brother, this isn't even your thing. If you believe in the whole hustle culture and you're pushing that thing, or you're pushing that kind of way of life to your employees or your subordinates, well, it's your company, fair enough. You know, your idol is fucking Steve Jobs, your idol is Jeff Bezos and Elon, You want to, you know what I mean? You're inspired by fucking Y Combinator. You want to be on Starter, you know, you want to be a part of Founders Fund. You're in love with Silicon Valley. Okay, cool, no worries. But if you're working for a corporation, you know what I mean? And you're just a manager and you're trying to imbue hustle culture, you're a loser. It continues. Last week we had a one-on-one meeting where he told me he was concerned about my dedication to the team. He listed his grievances quite clearly. He didn't like that my Slack statuses goes offline at 5:01 p.m. every single day. He was annoyed that I didn't reply to an email he sent on Saturday morning until Monday at 9 a.m. And he was especially frustrated that I refused to join a team bonding Zoom call that was scheduled at 7 p.m. my time, which is 1 p.m. his time. That's fucking crazy, bro. To be honest, the only time I've had only one occasion in my life where I felt like working outside of my regular working hours was warranted. And that was the time I was working for Mastered. And it was very chaotic. But I really believed in the vision. I believed in the company. I believed in what they were trying to do. I was personally invested in it because I was part of leading this online streetwear course. I kind of helped to create the curriculum. I was working with, quote unquote, somebody that I looked up to, like Virgil Abloh. I got a chance to get really ingrained in the streetwear industry that I always loved and was obsessed with. But I got a chance to talk to all my, quote unquote, heroes and idols that I kind of was looking up to and kind of, you know, admiring from afar. So I was, you know, I was willing I was willing to work way more than I needed to get to do a good job because I was personally invested. But in the end, you know, it wasn't really necessary. It created a toxic work environment. And it just wasn't necessary. You know, it just was a bit excessive. But that was the only time I did that. But I think in general, it's not a good thing. I think you're better off as a company, you're better off as a manager, as an owner. You're better off trying to impart a philosophy, a work, you know, ethic, whatever, that is based in the, you know, when you're at work, you're at work. I want you to do your best, bring your best from 9 to 6, from 9 to 5. You're better off doing that and leaving people the fuck alone after fucking 5 p.m., after 6 p.m. Then you are saying, yeah, we're a family, we're teammates, all this nonsense. No. You don't need to give a shit about my company. You don't need to care about my brand. Imagine if I've got a company that makes fucking fountain pens. You don't need to be obsessed with fountain pens. I just want you to, when you turn up to work, you want to fucking work. You want to put your best foot forward. You want to, you know, help customers. You want to present the brand in the best possible way out there. Whatever your job is, you want to do it well. I'd much rather that than this idea that, you know, work, because in my personal opinion, there's not much that can be gained from a Saturday meeting anyway, that you can't just do on a Monday. It's very rare that whatever they ask you to do out of hours is necessary. It can always wait until Monday. It can always wait until the next working day. It can always wait. There is really no rush. And if there is a rush, then I'm sorry. It's up to the people that work in the senior level, like the senior management, to knuckle down and get that sorted, because that's what you're getting paid extra for. In all, you know, yes and no, but that's kind of what you're getting paid extra for. To accept your subordinates to do that is a bit crazy. Yo, big up my guy Bobby. Yo, big up Bobby in the stream chat as well. Big up Bobby in the stream chat. Yeah, we're here. Big up Bobby. He gave me the usual speech, the article continues, about how in this category, we go the extra mile. And that if I want to grow, I need to be more available. I had to give him a bit of a reality check. I looked him in the eye over Zoom and I told him that in the Netherlands, you can't finish your work. If you can't finish your work by 5 p.m., it doesn't mean you are dedicated. It means you are insufficient, you're inefficient and understaffed. I told him I am neither. I also reminded him that contacting me outside of work hours for non-emergencies is actually frowned upon here, and that my contract is for 40 hours, not 40 hours plus nights and weekends. Agreed. Unless they specify in your contract you have to work a weekend, that shouldn't be on the table. But all that being said, the only issue I have with people like this, they have very strict rules about when they're gonna work. Not rules, but they, you know, they have a very they have a very strict way about how they approach their work. I come in at 9. No, or, you know, I'm at my desk by 9, we're working, I leave at 5, that's it. Cool. But those very same people, also that's the people who complain when they don't get promotions. Because the truth of the matter is this: as unfortunate as it is, especially in the UK, especially in most Western countries, if you want to get a promotion, if you want to be considered for a promotion, if you want to be considered for a salary increase, if you want to be the apple of your manager's eye, it's kind of important to do these extra things. Coming in a bit early, staying over a bit late. It actually does benefit you, unfortunately. It's not fair, it's not cool, we understand, but it actually does work. So if you want to play the game and you want to rise up the ranks, you're better off figuring out how to do that sort of stuff. If you just don't care about that and you want to clock it like I do, you want to clock in and clock out, do your job and go home, cool, fair enough. But know there's going to be a ceiling. There's definitely going to be a ceiling. So that's the only issue, especially if this person's saying they're working for a US tech company. If it's a US tech company, they're mostly going to have US kind of work, culture, ideas and stuff. And for them, staying a bit later at work, being open to receiving emails and answering phone calls on the weekend does go a long way, and will most likely, if you play your cards right, pay dividends on the back end when you want to get a promotion or salary increase. That's the unfortunate reality of the situation. But continuing, he tried to threaten me with a performance improvement plan. I immediately forwarded the email to our local Dutch HR representative. She literally laughed when she read it and told me to ignore him. She said that she would have a chat with him about local labor laws. Since then, he hasn't sent a single email after 5 p.m. I honestly feel bad for you guys in the US. The fact that you have to apologize for having a life outside of work is insane to us. And that's the thing. I like what we have in Europe, by and large. By and large, I think we have a very good work-life balance. Work-life balance in general. Most people tend to go in at a certain time. They leave at a certain time. If you want to stay later, you can, but you're not going to get paid more for it. But you'll look good in people's eyes. It might help you become indispensable, especially in this current climate we're in now, with 5.5 rising unemployment. It might be good if you want to just make sure you got your back covered, that you stay a little bit late, no problem. But to be fair to Americans, they have a bit of an unhealthy relationship to work. But to be fair to Americans, they make a lot more money than us. There's one girl I follow on Twitter who does like tech news, employment update sort of stuff, and she works in the same field that I used to work in, that I've got most experience in marketing and social media. And she said for a social media manager in the States, they're making like 80 grand a year. The same job that I used to do in other companies and other brands for other startups, they're making as a base 80 grand a year, which might be in conversion to like GBP, might be about what, 50, 60 grand? And I don't think I've ever made 50 grand working as a social media manager. The most I've made being a social media manager in a job here in the UK has been about 37. 37 was the most I probably made, I think, at one time, in one job. So maybe that's me not, negotiating my salary well enough, but I don't think I've seen a social media manager role that pays in the UK north of 40 grand. The only ones I've seen that come close to that are the ones where you're the marketing manager, right? Where you're the one that's kind of the boss of, most people in the marketing, and the social media manager sits underneath you. So yes, they have a very unhealthy relationship with work, but they also get paid quite well, That doesn't mean because you get paid well, you should be expected to work longer, but, it kind of is what it is. But I couldn't imagine a worse thing than living in Europe and working for a company whose headquarters are in the US. I'd fucking hate that. I think it's a big mistake. If you're looking for a job, don't do that. Don't maybe, try your best to find a company that you work for. Headquarters have to be in wherever you're based. Because I can't imagine you live in the UK and your company's headquarters are based in Asia. So most of the working standards and ethics and whatever are based in Asian culture. Like, no thank you. I'd rather have it here. Because that clashing of culture is just too much. And most likely it will end up kind of breaking you. So this is a really cool thing. But I also think in the UK too, we generally do stand up for ourselves when it comes to sort of things. I think maybe Dutch people are a little bit more forthright and stern. But I think if this happened to someone in the UK too, they wouldn't have it. They would not have it. They would not be okay with somebody slacking them out in the weekends. But I'm also the kind of person who doesn't believe in like having Slack and shit on your phone anyway. I'm not a big believer in it. Maybe in an emergency, if you need to contact your manager, fair enough. But generally, I'm not a big believer in having Slack on your phone. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'd rather keep that on my fucking work laptop, work computer. If I need to call somebody for an emergency or something, or need to call me, they have my number. But this whole expecting me to open Slack during the weekend thing, no siree, no siree, no siree. Moving on, big up Elon Musk. Elon Musk AI Grok insulting to victims, say number 10. The article, the UK government says that Elon Musk platform X limiting Grok AI edits to paid users insulting to victims of misogyny and sexual violence. Speaking on Friday, Downing Street, Downing Street said the move simply turns an AI feature that allows creation of unlawful images into a premium service. It follows significant backlash after Grok digitally altered image of others by undressing them, something it has says it now can only do for those who pay a monthly fee. However, it has no such restrictions when accessed through its edits image functionality, separate app or website. BBC has approached X for comment. So I'm sure that some of you guys have heard about this, right? So essentially on X, you could on X, there's a feature that you can essentially get Grok, which is the AI thing that Elon has created under XAI, and essentially you can get Grok to basically edit images on the go. So you can get Grok to answer questions. So if there's a tweet there that you see on X, you can just write in the comments in the reply at Grok. You can ask them you can ask Grok to AI to clarify the tweet for you. Or if you're a really crazy person, you can get Grok to undress somebody. And with the AI image creation tool, Grok AI will generate an image of the said person undressed or in a very skimpy bikini. Recently, the one that's been going somewhat viral on my side of social media has been this picture of Maya Jama that I think she uploaded recently, of her in the back of a taxi somewhere, right? She's wearing a really nice outfit. She looks amazing and shit. And people were basically writing underneath this comment underneath the picture, at Grok, please undress her, put in a skimpy outfit. And some of the edits have been nuts. I didn't know how bad this whole Grok AI, soft porn, whatever thing is. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty sickening. There's one in particular that I saw of her on here that you can see there from afar. I'm not going to zoom in too quickly, but I'm sure you can kind of see what's going on there, right? Let's just make sure we cover the top. But the AI generated image of Mary Jama features her sitting next to Adolf Hitler. And one of the images has her mouth covered with some bodily fluid, let's say. But it's pretty crazy, the amount of crazy images that have been uploaded there. And I think I saw a tweet actually from Maya Jama asking Grok specifically to kind of make sure that she's not included in any AI edits in terms of image, which is probably too late to do that sort of thing. But I wonder how they're going to combat it. I wonder how they're going to combat it, because I'm sure if they turn off this feature where you can edit images and kind of undress people, it'll probably have some other consequences with other features of the app that are unintended. It'll probably end up affecting something else. So it's probably a bit of a weird thing to fix. At the moment, they've limited it to paid members only to kind of limit the amount it goes out, because there's only so many people out there that are idiotic enough like me to pay for a tick. But it's pretty tense, isn't it? It's pretty intense. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty intense. I don't blame some women who are really scared of AI and image generation, because some of the edits I've seen of Maya Jama in this picture, especially some of the video ones, they are disturbing, man. You kind of want to find out who the men are who are making some of these images and stuff, because they are really disturbing. Some of these videos people are generating of Maya Jama and other women. Like you'll see a picture of this, like, of a hot woman on X or something. Oh my God, I just got a bachelor's degree. And somebody on the comments will be like, yeah, at Grok, please place her in a very skimpy bikini. Or if it's a woman in a skimpy bikini, originally they'll be like, at Grok, please have this woman surrounded by a family that loves her or something, or a present dad. It's kind of a funny troll in some cases, but in some other places it's a little bit concerning. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit concerning. Talking about being concerning, Mal from New Rory Moore, one of the former co-hosts of Joe Biden podcast, has announced the other day that Drake might be dropping today, or was it yesterday? But he announced what he announced today, or the other day on his podcast. I'm going to play the clip. Let me know what you think. Do you think he's talking about Drake Do you think he's talking about J. Cole? Or do you think that, like some people, he's talking about Pooh Shiesty? But Mal did announce that somebody that we've been waiting for to drop an album will be dropping something, will be dropping a surprise album today, hopefully, this weekend. That's what he said. Now, to be fair to me, I don't think he specifically said the word album, but he did say somebody that we're hoping that would have dropped by Christmas will be dropping something today, which is Friday, the 9th of January, as I'm recording. I don't know if that's true, but let's press play and you tell me what you guys think. Big up Moore, big up New Rory Moore.
I told him we was getting something for Christmas. I was just a couple days early.
Okay.
We're getting something Friday though. Well, Thursday night.
Okay.
Don't make me cut that out because you love doing that shit. We all go home and you
Thursday
think
night.
Cut this out.
Nah, Thursday night.
So you're saying on record, this is the IG clip. You're saying on record we are getting a Jermaine Cole album.
I didn't say that. See? You see how fast? Look how fast.
I'm trying to get you to go viral.
But that's what we were talking about.
I said that I said the album was coming for Christmas, right? I thought. I was just a couple weeks early. I think this Thursday.
Okay.
Thursday night.
And if you wrong, can you buy me something?
I still owes you shoes from 2022.
I know.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do, because we went shopping to go get shoes and I still don't have shoes.
They didn't have your size. The one
Just talking on the J. Cole rumors. I don't think that's true. I don't think it could be J. Cole because number one, Moore doesn't really fuck with J. Cole like that anymore after the Drake thing. Mostly because of how he dropped the diss track and then took it back and stuff. I think for Moore, like most, fans of lovers of hip hop, I think J. Cole essentially is dead to us now after that fucking embarrassing scenario. So I don't think he's really checking for a J. Cole album. It's giving me Drake. I'm feeling like the way that he's being vague and he's not really saying who it is, and the fact that he's got obviously a relationship with Drake, I have a feeling like he's talking about Drake. But so far we haven't heard nothing. I think Drake has put out some clips or some pictures or something. He's made some of his vague posts with captions that read like lyrics, Drake, but he hasn't specifically said anything about Iceman or any type of album. So I'm hoping that it might be Drake. We might get something later on tonight. There's still some time, but so far there's nothing has dropped.
everything you wanted.
In 3 years they haven't had the size?
No. When we went to Flight Club, everything she wanted, they did not have.
You told me you was gonna text Joe.
I did. He didn't send me shit. I texted him. He was here that week. He had a whole pop up that week. I texted him.
I was going through some things. I went.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah. Oh, that's when it was prime time too.
I was trying to keep my friends away from me.
Yeah, but I do think this Thursday we get an album that I think we've all been collectively waiting for.
Okay. So you're not
just open ended. We just get it. It could be.
I think we get an album.
It could be Doechii.
I think it could. Okay, y'all may have been collectively waiting for Doechii. I'm not waiting for a Doechii album.
I am.
I mean, I'm happy when she drops it, but I'm not sitting back like.
I think the person you're insinuating now, but covering your ass by not saying the name, yes, I think the whole world is waiting for that project before probably anyone else. So
I think we get it this Thursday. I was a little early. I thought it was Christmas. Mm-hmm. Maybe some things couldn't get cleared in time. You know, the industry's closed for the holidays, so things had to get pushed.
Prepare to be sick of me.
If it's good.
Bitch, sorry. You know what? Sorry, my bad. I ain't mean to call you out your name. I ain't mean to call you.
2026. First time I've been called a bitch in 2026. It's all good.
I ain't mean to call you out your name. My bad. That was disrespectful. I'm sorry. Sir, let's be fucking for real. Let's be fucking for real.
We don't know.
It's good. Go on.
We don't know.
See, you gonna make me repeat myself.
A lot of those songs that was dropped came and went. I ain't heard none of you niggas play Port Antonio. When the last time you pressed play on Port Antonio?
This year.
Cut it out. He always just played a nigga song. He like LeBron of music. I was just playing that.
Rory just played Port Antonio Clouds and Off Season for me when we were on our way to the Monica concert. Yeah. Brandy and Monica concert.
And brought back 21 Savage's verse twice.
Yeah. He did just play Port Antonio. That was the last time I heard it.
Okay, now they're talking about Port Antonio, so it's possible this could be about J. Cole. It could be about J. Cole. I'm not too sure. Regardless of who it is, so far we haven't heard any update. There hasn't been a single update as of yet. I think courtesy of Kuroku, I think they posted, there was an update from from Drake. This is the latest from Drake so far. Drake so far posted via Instagram. He had a caption here with a new picture of him in a new outfit. He says, I was expecting people who look up to me to look me in the eyes too. I thought that's the least they could do. but I was wrong about them like I was wrong about you. And then he posted a picture here that says it's time to move, isn't it? What came first, the music or the misery? I have two main activities in life, smoking and plotting revenge. And another post he posted that says Iceman is Drake. So maybe it's coming. Maybe it's coming. Maybe more isn't chatting shit. So far, the timeline is absolutely destroying more. The timeline is absolutely destroying more. People are basically calling him out to be a liar, and saying that it's not going to happen. So I don't know. Yeah, see, everyone on X is saying it's not happening. We got to stop predicting album releases. Absolutely none of these people have been right ever. And when they're wrong as hell, it's always, oh, I was early, my bad, was wrong, I don't know shit. So yeah. So even if it does drop, he's not gonna, he's not gonna admit his mistake and shit. But so far, we haven't heard any update from Drake directly regarding the drop. But I'm hoping it's true. I'm really hoping it's true, because I could do with a new Drake album. I could do with something new to blast in my Serato, if possible. Continuing on, learner drivers may have to wait 6 months before taking a test. Learner drivers in the UK may have to wait 6 months before they can take their practical test. On the face of it, this is horrible news. For a person like myself that doesn't have a full driving license, this is horrible news. What I should be doing, which I can't do because at the moment my arm is broken, but what I should be doing is heading to my nearest driving license school place, whatever, and going to go get my license as quick as possible. Taking my fucking theory, doing my practical, and getting my license as soon as I can. People always say, when you get your license, it's not about owning a car, it's about having a license. You have the license, suddenly your horizons change, your horizons widen, your life changes. Everything starts to look a lot more rosy. You start to see color again. You start to feel lighter. But that's what I've heard from many people. But I don't mind this law change, because living in London, living in the part of London that I live in, the amount of bad, horrible, downright illegal driving I see every day, I think this is a good change. I think this is a good change to hopefully improve the driving standards overall in this godforsaken country. Because motherfuckers here cannot drive. I'm certain there are people that are driving currently on the road who didn't actually even take their practical test. I'm certain there are some people who are driving who made somebody else take their test for them, and they just put their picture on the fucking driving license, because it's a whole racket, In certain communities, I'm not going to name what the communities are, but you know who you are out there. There are certain communities where they have little rackets, they have little schemes, they have little scams, innit? Big up my Indian and Pakistani man them. They have little scams and schemes they do where they're nice people, they sort people out. I recently, actually, as of maybe, a year ago, I actually tried to get one of those licenses. I'm not going to lie. I actually tried to get one of those licenses, but the person I was dealing with was moving a bit scammy. I gave them some money. They told me it was going to get printed. Then they said it was ready. Then they said, I need a bit more to get it printed. Okay, cool. I'm not sending you more. I already sent you like half. I'm not sending you more. If you scam me for the half, cool. I'll take that out on the chin, but I'm not going to send you more hoping it's going to come. So I just cut it off and moved on. But I know those services exist where you can pay somebody to either make you a fake license that looks legit. You can pay somebody to do your test for you, and then you whack your picture on the fucking license. It sounds insane, but I'm sure that happens because the level of driving I see out there on the roads is horrible. As a pedestrian, I see it, and I see it even more as a cyclist. Going back and from work, cycling back and from the supermarket, cycling to and from the gym. I see some horrific driving out there. So if they have to, if there's one way to improve driving, you'd hope is by, giving people more time by force to take their practical and to learn over a longer space of time than a shorter space of time. Because at the moment, everyone's rushing to get their license. People are taking automatic licenses and rushing to get those done, which also I'm wondering, is that maybe that might be the reason of the decrease in driving skills. Maybe it's more to do with more people nowadays driving automatics than manuals. That might be the reason. Because if you're driving a manual, driving a manual car is like riding a fixed gear bike. You have to be more in tune with the car. You can't afford to just like put your foot on the throttle and just, look down on your phone. You have to pay attention when you're driving a manual. So I wonder if the popularity in recent years of automatic cars and stuff has led to people not being good drivers. But in the UK, in my part of East London, I think is very, very important because the amount of crashes, the amount of ambulances, the amount of fucking flowers you see wrapped around the fucking lamppost in this fucking part of London I live in is obscene. People are getting knocked over. People are getting knocked over fatally. It's fucking crazy. So this might actually be a good thing. This might actually be a good thing. Let's read the article. It says the measure, which was subject to consultation as part of the government's wider road safety strategy launched on Wednesday. The proposal also includes a lower drink driving limit in England and Wales to bring them in line with Scotland. The shake-up of driving laws is aimed at reducing the number of people killed or badly injured in roads by 65% over the next decade and by 70% for children under 16. A fifth of all deaths or serious injuries from crashes involved a young car driver in 2024. The government believes a minimum period between sitting the theory test and practical test would help learner drivers develop their skills. I also wonder if the prevalence of PIP, personal injury payment, whatever, that little PIP scam, that little PIP finesse that a lot of the Gen Z kids are doing nowadays, I wonder if that has plays a part in some of these deaths. Because I know that's a thing nowadays where kids are basically getting these benefits where you basically, you can say you're neurodivergent or something. And these benefits will allow you, in some cases, if you have enough ailments, you can essentially get some sort of car loan. I don't know exactly how it works. I've seen some posts on TikTok where kids basically explain how you do it. But you can essentially get, if you claim to the government that you have some sort of mobility issues, they can basically put you on a scheme that allows you to get a pretty decent new reg car and pay like, a fraction of the price in terms of a monthly fee, in terms of monthly financing. You pay like, I don't know, 200 quid for like a really nice Audi or something crazy like that. So I wonder if that is one of the reasons also, because I'm seeing a lot more young kids driving like some new whips nowadays in my ends. A lot of them, and I don't think they're doing like, crazy scams. I just think they're running that little PIP finesse, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure. Any informal learning people may do with parents or guardians, as well as formal lessons with driving instructors, will count. The Department of Transport will consult on 3 or 6 months of the minimum learning period. The proposal will also make little difference to today's novice motorists who currently face a waiting time of around 6 months to get their practical test. I didn't know that. The backlog is expected to last until 2027. So there's currently, even if I wanted to take my driving test tomorrow, even if I pass my theory and I wanted to take a practical test tomorrow, there is a minimum waiting time of 6 months. But I have also heard from people on the ground floor that if you know someone that knows somebody, they can push up that list. So the whole driving thing, I'm sure wherever you live in the world, wherever you listen to me right now, I'm sure you have the same thing. The whole driving license thing is a bit of a scam. There's always hustles involved. There's hustles involved in trying to get it renewed. You can probably pay someone and get bumped up the queue. There's hustles involved when it comes to taking a test. If there's a backlog, you can probably get jumped up in the queue. There's hustles involved when it comes to doing the fucking driving test. Someone can do it for you. You know what I mean? So there's always a scheme. So I'm sure if I really wanted to get it done and I had the money, similar to like renting a property, right? If there's a property on the property market and you want to rent it, and you got more to offer to put down on a down payment, or you're willing to pay more of the monthly rent in advance, you're going to get that property ahead of someone like myself that might just put the standard down payment down and the rent, you know what I mean? But if you're willing to pay like 6 months in advance, you're going to get that property for everybody. So yeah, I feel you. I feel them. Last bit of the article here. Evidence from other countries suggests minimum learning periods could reduce collisions by 32%. Currently, learner drivers can take lessons from 17 and book a practical test as soon as they have passed a theory exam. The majority of driving tests in Britain have taken by under 25s. In 2024-2025, about 55% of the tests were taken by drivers 17-24. Proposed changes could see the end of teenagers passing their test, turning 17, meaning the youngest drivers could be 17 and a half. I don't know if I know the statistics and the rates are saying what they're saying, but I'm not too sure I buy this notion that the people that are causing most of the deaths, accidents on the streets are young drivers under 25. I don't think that's true, especially in my ends. Anecdotally, in my ends, the people that are the most dangerous. The most dangerous drivers on the roads are people over the age of 40, over the age of 50. Men or women, doesn't matter. Men or women, doesn't matter what race. They are men or women, doesn't matter the race. Over 40, over 50, be careful. I'm not buying this idea that under 25-year-olds are the ones causing most accidents. I don't buy it, man. The amount of women I see, like, you know, nearly crashing into pedestrians, nearly crashing into fucking cyclists, you know, jumping red lights from time to time, turning where you're not meant to turn, taking the wrong lane, like, They're most people over 50, looking wise at least. They're the aunties and uncles, mate. The tias and the tios. They're the ones who are doing that, in my personal opinion. But again, what do I know? Absolutely nothing. Cool. Moving on. Let's talk about what's on the title. Big up Dami, big up Indiyah, big up Bouncer, and big up Marlon. Yes, big up fucking Marlon. So, weird thing has kind of happened over the last few days. As most of you guys know, if you've been paying attention to social media, or as Aunt Hefe will say, social media. If you've been paying attention to social media, big up Aunt Hefe, you would have heard that Love Island couple Indiyah and Dami have split up. Love Island couple Indiyah and Dami have split up. There's been rumors about it all the time. I feel like on the timeline there's always a rumor about these guys splitting up. Mostly I think coming from either camp fans. I feel like either fan groups, the Dami fans, the Indiyah fans, they don't seem to really like them together. And some of the neutrals also. But I feel like each fan base doesn't seem to like each other with the other. So they always kind of float in these rumors about they're broken up. But lately, I think the breakup rumors have intensified because I don't know which one, but one of them in the couple posted an Instagram dump that people do nowadays, right? A carousel of images summarizing the last month, the last 6 months, whatever, on social media or in their life. And people, eagle-eyed viewers had noticed that there was a distinct lack of each other in their dumps. I think that's what people noticed. And I think in specifically when it comes to Dami, I think something about his birthday happened recently and Indiyah didn't post something. Anyway, something along that, right? People started to notice that they weren't really posting each other too much on social. But there's also been a clip I see going around that featured Indiyah where she's kind of talking to the camera saying, you guys are always getting in our business, you're too parasocial, just because I don't post my boyfriend all the time doesn't mean that we're not together, he's actually working, you know, that kind of thing, which is a reasonable explanation. But this recent rumor hasn't been squashed or clarified by either party. Either party hasn't come out and kind of clarify the situation. So it's led people to believe that most likely they did split up. And then this article from Daily Mail dropped that said exclusive. Love Island couple Indiyah and Polack and Dami Hope split after 3 years as he reflects on losses in an emotional end of 2025 post. So this is a post from the Daily Mail. You're assuming they probably did their due diligence and reached out to either party in Indiyah and Dami to get clarification, or they talked to people close to them and most likely found out they did break up. So I think this was the first time people thought, okay, cool, it's most likely legit. Even though Daily Mail does talk a lot of shit and it's not a newspaper you should always believe, the fact that they went so hard on it, exclusive tag, would make you believe that most likely it was true. Let's read the article quickly. Love Island couple Indiyah and Dami split up after 3 years. The ITV2 stars met on the 2022 series and remained a couple after the show, making them the last finalists from the season to part ways. They narrowly missed out on the £50,000 prize money, losing the final to Ekin Su and David, whatever his name is, while Gemma Owen and Luca Bish finished runners-up. The breakup comes just days before the launch of Love Island All Stars, where Indiyah will return as a host of the Morning After podcast along with Amy Hart. Indiyah and Dami famously dubbed themselves the Heartbreakers after their explosive Casa Amor confrontation, which produced the iconic line, "May the best heartbreaker win." Despite briefly recoupling with their other islanders, the pair reunited and went on to enjoy successful careers, with Indiyah becoming a regular presenter on Capital Extra and hosting last year's MOBO Awards. That's the couple there, looking really cute and shit, and really cool. They actually complement each other really well, to be fair, aesthetically looking anyway. And I think vibes-wise, from what I've seen in terms of clips, they seem to have great personalities, both of them. A source told Daily Mail, Indiyah and Dami have sadly decided to part ways after 3 years together. It's been a difficult time for both. They built their lives together, and no one expected the relationship to end so suddenly. They have no plans to enter the Love Island All-Stars villa. Indiyah is focused on co-hosting the podcast, while Dami isn't interested, knowing it would be unforgivable level of disrespect. Their breakup comes as Dami shared a 2020 picture 20 pictures reflecting on his 2025, none of which featured Indiyah. He captioned the post, "A year full of memories, milestones, losses, growth, and you can't always explain out loud. I've hit goals I once only dreamed of, yet I still catch myself asking, why don't I feel content? Maybe it's because every goal I reach becomes the starting point for something bigger." He added, "Not everything ends clean, but it ends clear. 2026 is about peace, progress, motion, and exercising my free will daily." The couple were last seen together celebrating Indiyah's December birthday, but they did not share any posts as the pair over Christmas or New Year's period. The Daily Mail has contacted the couple's representative for comment. So, a dump is produced, no update on both of them. The weird development off the back of this, actually, let me just check out that Instagram post. Let me see what that Instagram is saying. Dami, what's his name? Dami Hope Instagram. Let me actually see that. I want to see what that dump looks like. Let me see that dump. That dumpy. So this is where's that 20 post dump? This is a 20 post dump, right? The 20 pictures, honestly. I've never posted a carousel in my life. I never will. I think slideshows are gay as fuck. But 20 pictures, really? God damn, bro. Let's check it out. Really cool pictures though, I guess. Went around the world, had a good time, money, haircuts, food. Looks like a lot of solo dinners out here. We love a good solo dinner, nice fits, some family stuff. Yeah, living the life, right? Doing his thing. But as you can see, oh, nice view there in that apartment. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Lovely fucking view. Must be fucking nice, isn't it? Is that near Stratford? No. That must be nice, that. So a nice little dump there, but unfortunately, no Indiyah. Well, you know what is weird? Out of all people to get involved in this is fucking Bouncer. For some reason, Bouncer decided to jump on his particular show and announce that he had the information, he had the truth, he knows the truth of what went on behind the scenes between these two guys, which I thought was odd at the time. But as it goes on, you'll realize why. Because most likely it looks like Dami probably Dami or somebody in his team reached out to Bouncer directly to set the record straight. Because when that article went viral, or when the news went viral and the Daily Mail article was out there, I did notice that people on the timeline, especially on Twitter, were really going at Dami. Were essentially assuming Dami was the one that did something bad, aka cheating or something, that led to the breakup with him and Indiyah. But when I saw this from Bouncer, my initial thought was that, most likely someone in Dami's team reached out to him and said wah to clarify whatever, to set the narrative straight, because he was getting kind of destroyed out there in the timeline and maybe in the comments. And he probably saw that, didn't like how he was being portrayed, and thought, you know what? I need to set the record straight. So this was the first post, 48 hours ago, 24 hours ago, that Bouncer put out on his YouTube page. Big up TMMC, big up TMC, the music connoisseur, for the clip.
Hours. Dami and Indiyah. The files are here. So there's speculation that Dami and Indiyah's broken up. But no one actually knows.
Big up
why.
Indiyah.
Now,
big
guys.
up Indiyah.
One thing about Bouncer, he finds out everything. Close from the source. The source, when I say the source. Now look, I'm going to give 24 hours. So, look, just keep this one at 2 p.m. You get me? I know you lot got football. I know you got school run. So let me change the date. Internet ready. Just to make sure everyone's ready for this one now, yeah? Akhi, when I tell you that it is dark, it is dark. You see the story that I'm about to tell you? It is very, very dark. It's a dark story. It's a dark story. And anyone that don't know who Dami is, this is Dami. Obviously, big up the boy. This is my guy, man. This is my guy, you get me? Obviously, Indiyah. Big up Indiyah. Come on, man. We wanted romance. You get me? Akhi, we wanted romance. But it's a dark story, bro. It's a dark story. Anyway, let's just get into this, guy. I know the reactions, and you can see everyone's kind of taking this. They're not taking this a nice way. So I'm going to give them 24 hours before you get the full breakdown. Because tomorrow at 2 p.m., what you're going to hear is you're not going to be happy. And this is 180 million %. Hey, I'm going to give you some real insights of what's happened. So, yeah. Sorry, man. Let me just not say that. I don't want to say that. Let me just watch this. Guys, it's very dark, man. It's very dark. It's not good. It's dark. You lot ain't going to believe it. But it's the truth. And, yeah, man. See one thing about Bouncer. Akhi, There's people involved. There's people involved. There's people involved in this.
Just to pause him there, I know I kind of do the similar thing. I know I can do a similar thing, if not the exact same thing, on my very tiny little platform here. Big up everybody tuning in. If you're watching me for the first time, watching me for the second time, or you've been here all the time, make sure you like the stream. Subscribe to the channel. If you're listening or viewing this over on a Kick, I appreciate you greatly. Make sure you follow the channel over there too. And if you're on Kick, why not get a subscription? Subscriptions are open over there on Kick. And if you want to get access to all of my live streams, which will be all members only after the fact, which will be all subscribers only, make sure you join. You become a member on the YouTube, or you become a member on the Kick side of things so you can watch this stream in full. I appreciate you all greatly. As much as I appreciate Bouncer and what he's doing, two things kind of stood out to me when I saw this clip earlier. Number one, no matter how entertaining the news, no matter how fun or whatever, men gossiping never really looks as cool or as swaggy as when women do it, innit? It always comes off a way, innit? You know, you listen to this guy, you're seeing how he's giggling, you're seeing how excited he's getting about this news. You think to yourself, what public good does this serve? Why are you so invested in this? Why do you sound so excited? Why do you care? You know? Because I don't get the feeling that him and Dami are like close friends, like they know each other, you know, from school, or they know each other from the area, or his younger knows Dami, or his older is Dami's little brother. You don't get that feeling that him and Dami are like close like that. Most likely what happened is that Dami's most likely a fan of Bouncer, watches some of his videos, and saw how he was getting, you know, spoken about on the timeline, didn't like it, and went to set the record straight indirectly. And reached out to somebody that has like a quote unquote media platform, and Bouncer told him, hey, this is what went on. But instead of just reporting it and just reporting how he's reporting it, he seems a little bit too overly invested and giddy. You know, that's the unfortunate nature of this type of avenue of content. It's really hard as a man to not sound like you're gossiping, right? And in people's business too much. And it just makes you look away, you know? I rate Bouncer. I like what Bouncer does. I've been a fan of his since he begun this fucking stuff that he's been doing. I really like what he does. But I can't help but watch this and cringe a little bit, you know? He seems very, very excited, very giddy, which I don't personally like. But it kind of is what it is. It's the nature of the beast, as they say. Well, he obviously was alluding to something. If you've got any sort of sense, you would have known he was obviously alluding to some sort of cheating rumors, which for most people was a surprise, because I think most people in the timeline who are more invested or know more about these people would have said, from what I've been reading in between the lines, they were surprised that it was Indiyah. They were expecting Dami to be the one that cheated, because a lot of people thought Dami was a cheater anyway. And I think some people in the timeline who are fans of Indiyah, not Dami, were basically saying that he wasn't that serious about her because he didn't, you know, propose, and because he's Nigerian, they're used to Nigerian men being very fast and knowing what they want, and if they're serious about a person, they're going to get them a ring, that, you know, all this nonsense and shit. So I think the timeline was a little bit, you know, shooketh when Bouncer decided to, after the 24 hours had elapsed, he decided to actually come through for once, because he gives people a lot of 24-hour warnings, but nothing actually happens. This time around, he did actually give the 24-hour warning timeline. The deadline wasn't met. He then decided to drop the news that kind of shook my side of social media, that the reason why Dami and Indiyah broke up was that allegedly Indiyah hooked up with Marlon at the fucking Duck and Waffle restaurant. That's what Bouncer's saying. Bouncer's saying that Indiyah allegedly is the one that cheated on Dami with fucking Marlon of all people. Absolutely crazy. It's weird because I follow a lot of this live streamer content stuff. I'm familiar with Marlon and, you know, his loose connection to the AMP boys and stuff that he does and whatever else it may be. I'm also familiar with the streams that he does with the ladies and shit. You know, I know what's going on for him. So it's kind of funny to see these two worlds colliding, you know, a part of the UK content stuff that I'm not really aware of, and the US stuff that I'm currently aware of that's kind of intersecting. But Bouncer says Dami and Indiyah broke up because Indiyah allegedly hooked up with Marlon. Let's hear Bouncer give us the lowdown.
Sis has been doing things that she's not meant to be doing openly. At Duck and Waffle, she's with this mystery man. Who's the mystery man? The mystery man is Marlon. The mystery man is him.
I like how the first picture he picked when he went on Marlon's page, the first picture he clicked on was the one of him walking down the runway topless. I do find that kind of funny. I do kind of find it funny. The first picture on Marlon's Instagram that Bouncer clicked on to illustrate or to display who he was talking about was the one where he's walking down the runway topless. I find that really, really funny, by the way.
Mystery man is him. At the table with the mystery man, and they're getting close. You get me? Giggling, touching, kissing in public, in a public place. You get me? And allegedly, guys, allegedly, because I have to put allegedly just in case, you know, but I'm just letting you know, I don't care about this information. The information has come for me to say it. So
yeah, pure lies. You care. And it's funny too, right? Because Bounce has been on a very, very staunch, very loud anti-Shadeborough, run. He's been very, very anti-Shadeborough about how they destroy lives, about how they get in people's business, do this, whatever. This is worse than the Shadeborough. I don't think even the Shadeborough would have posted this rumor. I don't think they would have. Bounce has gone out of his way to make this like a big deal on his channel. It's gone super viral, so it's going to help him. Congratulations. But I do find it very interesting. The person that was very anti-Shadeborough is turning into the Shadeborough. It kind of reminds you of that quote, innit? You stare too long at the abyss ends up staring back at you. He is turning into all the things that he hated, he's turning directly into them. Kind of fucking crazy when you think about it. What next? What next? Will we see a Bouncer cult in the same way that there's a SPAC Nation cult? You know how he's going super crazy on SPAC Nation? Imagine if the next thing we see is a Bouncer cult, a Bouncer retreat, an Aki retreat, an internet-ready religion or something. Imagine. Bouncer, man, come on.
When you watch this, just know that if I ever get told that I'm a liar and this is information that's a lie, I'll make another video. Get me? And I'll address that and I will show. Anyway, let me not get into it. Anyway, they were at the table, they're kissing up, whatever, boom. Allegedly, you get me? Allegedly, Marlon has gone to the toilet. Indiyah's followed. Around 4 a.m. in the morning, they've left together. You get me? Around 4 a.m. in the morning, they've left together. You get me? What have I missed? You get me? I'm reading. Remember, this is not my forte, bro. So, you get me? Around 4 in the morning, they've left together. Who is Marlon? Marlon is meant to, well, he's a big time streamer. He's got 1.7 million followers on Twitch. He's got almost 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
So you get the gist, right? You get the fucking gist. First of all, I'm not too sure how I'd feel. If I found out that my missus cheated on me in that manner, you know? That's a very single girl way to hook up with somebody. It's not the kind of way that you would imagine it to happen. If, you know what I mean? You'd imagine if you would hope, if there was an ideal way to get cheated on, you would hope it happened in a spur of the moment type of thing, right? Where, I don't know, she's out clubbing somewhere and, you know, one thing leads to another. To go to Duck and Waffle, that's a sit down thing. That's not like a rave. That's not a dance. You're going there to sit down and eat. So that's a date. You know what I mean? She went on a date. Maybe her and Dami were broken up at that time. I'm not too sure. Don't know the intricacies of their relationship. But that would break my heart more. That it was an actual date. It wasn't like a random hookup where you were at some industry party and then one shot after the other led to suddenly, you know, you got your dress off somewhere. But the whole thing about being at the restaurant, going to the toilet, like what? That would have sent me. That would have fucking sent me. But the game is the game, you know? The game is the fucking game. I think most men should be under no illusions that they can never be cheated on. Anyone could get cheated on at any point in time. It's not, you know, it's not preferred, of course, but it shouldn't be surprising to you if it does happen. It's possible. Even the most loyalist person, depending on the situation, it can happen. I think that that adage of you're only as faithful of your options is really true. There are some A-star, right? There are some A-star, gold star boyfriend and girlfriends that exist out there that no matter the temptation will never ever betray your trust, the loyalty, relationship that they have with you. But I think most people, unfortunately, are only as faithful of their options. So when certain people come around, things start to be changing. I'm also not the biggest fan of this whole thing of like, oh, because you're currently going through a bad spell, that's why I decided to step out. I don't agree with that excuse even with men. I think if you want to cheat on your missus, you're doing it because you want to do it. This idea that, oh, you made me cheat because you don't let me do this or because that's bullshit. It's just a cop out. If you want to do it, you did it because you wanted to do it. But I also think if you want to do it, just break up in it. Break up with the person and then go and enjoy whatever you want to enjoy with a clear conscience. I think the way it came out like this is a bit messy on both people's side of things. Most likely there's more to the story than what meets the eye. I'm sure of it. Most relationship isn't that black and white and clear. But it doesn't paint either party in a great light. You know, the way it's come out, the fact that Dami would feed it through this bouncer, the fact that none of them have kind of cleared it up, the fact that Indiyah would let the rumors about him allegedly cheating on her persist and make him look bad. I mean, it's all bad. On either side, it's all fucking bad. But it has been really funny to see the hypocrisy from the girls on timeline. Because the girls on the timeline think Marlon looks good, and because there's some girls on the timeline who maybe think Marlon is more attractive than Dami, or that they prefer him over Dami, it's funny to see a lot of girls on the timeline who maybe even don't like Dami. I think I've realized, or a riff of the timeline, that he's got some brand. I'm not sure if it's called Porg or if it's called like Bunny or something, but Dami's got some brand where in the brand name is something about white girls. And for some reason, the timeline hates it. They fucking hate it, which is weird because you can have a brand that's called that, but then your dating history so far publicly we've seen, you date black girls. But for some reason, girls don't like that. They think, they think he's a race trainer or something or whatever. I don't know what it is, but the girls don't seem to like that brand. They don't seem to like him too much. Maybe he's made some past comments I'm not too aware of. But I do find it interesting, the hypocrisy and the double standards, in that there's not a lot of people on the timeline really chastising Indiyah for like the cheating thing. Me personally, I don't really think cheating is that big of a deal. Shit happens every single day. People are a bit too puritanical on the internet and social. I think in a relationship, obviously it's devastating. You break up, you move separate ways. But I think the way people get on their soapbox and they clutch pearls, it's like, come on, bro. People get cheated on every single day. It was happened since the beginning of time, happened until the end of time. It just is what it is. But I do find it interesting how people aren't going at Indiyah the same way they would do if roles were reversed. If the roles were reversed and we found out that fucking, I don't know, Dami cheated on Indiyah with, I don't know who, I can't think of I don't know, Ruby Love, was that Ruby Love or whatever her name is, something, that girl that fucking DG was dating, right? Or like Ruby Rose or something. I think the timeline would be destroying Dami. He'd be getting absolute pelters. So the fact that it's reversed is really interesting to see the hypocrisy and the double standards, but I'm also a big believer in having double standards and being a hypocrite. I think it's a part of the human condition. I'm just a believer in like making it known that you're full of shit to people, not pretending that you're not full of shit. I think we're all full of shit. I'm full of shit. You're full of shit. And these situations sort of illustrate that. To carry this on and to kind of finish up the story, Marlon did address it on his stream. He jumped on his stream and addressed it. This was Marlon addressing the rumors of him allegedly hooking up with Indiyah that caused a breakup between Indiyah and Dami. Let's hear Marlon talk about it.
That's all I'm gonna say. Like y'all know what y'all know.
That's the Indiyah cheating scandal.
And y'all know when there's a time and place, but y'all know that. Y'all already know, bro. Y'all already know. Like, please, bro. Like y'all come on, bro. Like, let's be honest here. Hey, remember what I said? Remember what I said in that one video? Shush. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know a nervous sip when I see one. He's sipping nervously. He sipped like 4 drinks there in total, isn't it? It was like water, energy drink, another juice, a water. I mean, he was sipping mad drinks there. He didn't really address it, to be fair. He didn't really address anything. He's kind of being vague. I don't know what that up sign means. Maybe he made a past stream comment where he said, when you're ascending and you're going up and you're becoming more famous, which he is, he's becoming more viral, he's becoming more, whatever. Maybe that means that's when all the haters come after you and the bad rumors and negative press. I'm really sure. But he didn't really address it, which is understandable. He's currently in a very public relationship with another streamer, Una, I forgot how you pronounce her name. And it wouldn't be wise to get into this sort of stuff because you wouldn't want the timeline to overlap. And even if the timelines didn't overlap, your current girlfriend wouldn't really be, cool with this type of conversation either. It's kind of disrespecting your relationship. So I get why he didn't speak about it. I think that's perfectly fine. I think it's perfectly fine for him not to speak about it and just to let it be what it is. But it is looking like it most likely did happen, isn't it? unfortunately for Dami, it is looking like it most likely did happen, which is kind of brutal. I'm not gonna lie, especially for him finding out from somebody else. Like, hey, brother, I saw your girl in fucking Duck and Waffle with some tall mixed race guy. Ooh, that's gonna be a tough pill to swallow. So, thoughts and prayers go out to Dami. Share that happens. I think it's probably essential for a man to get cheated on at least once. I think it's, heartbreak is one thing. Your girl saying, I want to leave you because, you're not up to scratch as sons of a boyfriend. Cool. But I think getting betrayed as a man is a good thing. Getting your heart broken by betrayal of your girlfriend cheating on you, I think it's a good thing. I think that will actually strengthen you and actually, make you into, hopefully, will make you into a better boyfriend, potential husband later on down the line. Now, to end this segment, the only thing I don't like about this whole drama, the only thing I've not liked about this whole entire drama has been the way that Bouncer has enjoyed and sort of like rolled in some of this shit. I've not enjoyed that because he did clarify in one of his posts and said, hey, if it comes out this is not true, I'm not, because this news was presented to me, I'm gonna, I'm gonna basically expose the person that told me because I'm not gonna have people say I'm a liar. I don't like that sort of side of things. I think he's too personally invested into this. He's not fucking Indiyah. Dami isn't one of his like boys that he's kind of grown up with. There's no need to be disinvested into it. You can report on the news, say your piece, give your opinion on it, and keep it moving, right? But the pressing it the way that he is in terms of, this is true. If it's not true, I'm going to follow. You don't need to do that. Just present the news as it is. It's unfortunate for both parties involved. Hope they're in a better place and, whatever, and it didn't end on bad terms, Because that also opens the door for maybe someone from India's side saying, hey, this is her side of the story. But the way he's kind of framing it, the way he's presenting it, it seems like he's more, on the side of Dami, which makes sense. I get it, because he's probably the one that reached out first and shit. But I don't like the way that he's personally invested into it and pressing the issue a little bit too much. It's unnecessary. One of the persons involved is in a relationship in terms of Marlon. And, I don't know. It's just none of his business. Just allow it. Leave it there. But I guess, unfortunately, this is the nature of the gossip streaming industry. Once you do this, you kind of have to follow it up and, and sort of put a pin in a story. You can't just let it kind of go. He introduced the story to a timeline. If more information comes out or if someone accuses him of being a liar, it would be a disservice to his audience not to follow it up and clarify his position or to basically, back himself up. But I would prefer if he just leave it there if it was up to me personally. But again, I can't tell anyone else to do their content. It is what it is. More prayers involved to everybody involved in the situation. Prayers involved to everybody involved in the situation. Cool. Let's move on. Big up, blood clot, Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer shared some posts on her Instagram detailing her weight loss, courtesy of Ozempic, I think. Mostly courtesy of Ozempic, I think. And it got me thinking. Number one, there seems to be a backlash from people on social when it comes to bigger, fatter, chunkier celebrities deciding to take Ozempic and lose some weight. And I also noticed a very weird thing where the people that take Ozempic, they seem to lose a lot of fat on their body in a good way. But for some reason, the face doesn't seem to look as right. Like, why is that? In a particular image of Amy Schumer, where she's wearing a bikini, she looks slim everywhere on her body, from her thighs to her ankles to her arms, forearms, stomach, chest, shoulders, collarbones are protruding and shit. She clearly looks like she's lost a lot of weight. But why does her face still look kind of chubby? Like, I don't actually know what, and I've noticed that with even DJ Academics. I wonder if that's maybe to do with drinking. Maybe that might have to do with drinking. I'm not too sure if she's sober or not, but I wonder why that is the case. I'll show you another picture actually of Tucker Carlson also. What is it with Ozempic weight loss where the body seems to look okay, but for some reason the face looks a bit mad? I wonder what it is about Ozempic in general that causes your body to lose weight in the quote unquote right way, but for some reason your face looks a bit insane. Like in these pictures, like, if you cover her face, I think her body looks great in terms of how the weight's lost, but for some reason her face still looks very chubby. She's still got, or maybe that's just her way she's built, her genetics. Maybe her genetics are just predisposed to have really chubby cheeks, but she just looks like she's a lot more chubbier and fatter in the face than she looks in the body. Like even this picture in particular, look at her body. Doesn't really match her face too much, isn't it? It's really strange. But it's always been strange to me anyway. The phenomenon of women being at home alone and trying on bikinis and taking pictures of themselves in the mirror. A bikini is meant to be worn on the beach. The thought of being at home, trying on bikinis, which are kind of uncomfortable to kind of put on. Like imagine this particular one, right? All the strings and shit. It's not an easy thing to put on and off. Putting it on, putting a timer on, taking a picture of yourself. It's just a bit weird, isn't it? I've always found that very bizarre. I've never really got the first trap element of a person being at home, trying on lingerie and taking pictures of themselves in the mirror. It just seems a bit odd and seems a bit odd, weird and depressing. But one thing that's not odd and depressing is that fucking view. I think she lives in New York, right? I think Emma Schumer. I think she lives in New York, and that view is stunning. That view from her apartment is fucking stunning. I hope it's her apartment and not a hotel. But that view, wherever it is fucking phenomenal. Like God Almighty, that's what you need to talk about. The view and the space in that fucking room, absolutely incredible. But for some reason, her face looks so fucking bizarre. Then there's another picture here of another person who took Ozempic allegedly. Again, the Ozempic seems to be sweeping the nation. This is Tucker Carlson. I didn't expect him to take Ozempic. I never really looked at Tucker Carlson and thought of a chubby fat person. Maybe he's got some baby fat that he could have probably lost easily with fasting or whatever. But it looks like he's taken Ozempic. And for some reason, the Ozempic has suddenly aged Tucker Carlson. Like, I think the pictures on either side are like a couple months ago, if I'm not mistaken. Because I remember the videos, actually. And the picture in the middle is what Tucker Carlson looks like now. And yeah, let's just say he looks like he's aged somewhat. It's kind of wild how Ozempic seems to be help people to lose weight, but it also seems to drastically age people. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? The fat on the face and what it does to you. It's really interesting. On one side, you've got Tucker Carlson looking older. On another side, you've got Amy Schumer. Body-wise, she looks like she lost a lot of weight and looks in great condition and great nick. But for some reason, her face doesn't seem to match the body. Very, very odd how that works out. Then in another case with Jelly Roll, people are getting used to Jelly Roll looking really fit and looking like he lost a lot of weight, which I think has been a combination of if I'm not mistaken, Ozempic and working out. He's been working out a bunch. I've seen him running and training in the gym and shit. He looks really good. The Jelly Roll hate I kind of understand, because Jelly Roll, part of his brand was being big and fat. You know, this big fat lovable guy was what his brand was. Covered in tattoos, had a sketchy past, but he's trying to do right. You know, that's what people kind of have known him for and loved him for. So I can kind of understand why some of his fans would be a little bit annoyed, because they, you know, you loved him because of that. I think if you're a real fan of his though, you'd be happy that he's trying to be healthy, because that means he's going to live longer. And if he lives longer, selfishly, you as a fan, you're going to get more music from him, innit? Or whatever else you enjoy from him. But I also think some of the negative reaction around how different Jelly Roll looks now mostly has to do with the lack of beard. That usually happens with men. When men usually lose weight, the first thing you want to do is show off your cheekbones and your jawline. Because when you were fat, you covered it with a beard. We all do that, right? But as soon as you lose some weight, you want to fucking shave that shit off and show your fucking cheekbones and your jawline. But I think if Jelly Roll grew a beard, he wouldn't look as crazy. I think because people online are like, oh my God, he looks so much better fat. I don't think he does look better fat. I just think people don't like that what he looks like without a beard, number one. And also don't like that he's lost a lot of weight and doesn't have a beard. But I think once he puts his beard back on, once he gets his beard back, I think he'll look back to the normal Jelly Roll that everybody knew and fucking loved, in my personal opinion. But again, it takes people a bit of time to get used to people's, weight loss shit. But weirdly enough, Jelly Roll did actually get featured in fucking Men's Health. And again, my point was proven, because on the picture, the editorial on fucking Men's Health, look at how great Jelly Roll looks when he's got a beard. Now that he's skinnier, he grew his beard out, and look how great he looks. I think that was the main problem. I think it was just the seeing him without a beard is what shook people off. Is what kind of, threw people off for the most part. So I think he looks really good here. So it's a little interview here, courtesy of Men's Health. It says how Jelly Roll lost over 150 pounds and rebuilt his life. Yeah, that sort of weight is going to take people time to get used to. Losing that kind of weight is going to take time for people to get used to it, to see it on your face. So I'm not surprised that people got a bit pissed off with it. But let's read the article here and see what he has to say with the interview. So, let's hear. Is it an interview or can we just how are we gonna read this? Okay, cool. There we go. Let's just start from the beginning. What does it say here? It says Jelly Roll fists a handful of loose skin underneath a black compression shirt and moves it from his hip over towards his belly, pulling it all the way. He takes my left hand and wedges it in there, planting it in his iliac crest and top of the hip bone. I can feel the bone's definition. He reaches down between my legs and claws the inside of my left thigh with his hand. I will 100% not hurt you, especially if you keep that neck stiff when you land so you don't bang your head. His tone is relaxed but also a little bit intense. You ready? Oh yeah, definitely, I tell him. Trying to sound extremely cool with the fact that he is about to body slam me. To be fair, I volunteered to be body slammed. I'm here to write about both body and soul, and the body slam seems to be a good way. When you're getting body slammed, let's go skip past this bit. Jelly loves wrestling and MMA. He's friends with a lot of these guys. He even joined the massive WWE event in SummerSlam 2025. When I first met him in February 2025, he was 380 pounds, down 160 pounds from his heaviest in 2020. He hadn't seen or felt the definition of his hip bones in years. Now in November, he's 265 pounds and hopping around the ring looking spry. If building strength and adding muscle, Jelly Roll became famous as a country singer, not just a country singer, but a big fat country singer with face tattoos, not just a famous one, and quickly momentously became famous. Now deep into his journey, it's clear that his journey might end up being the most famous thing he'll ever do. We all set goals, big ones and small ones, and we work towards them, and we fall and we try again, we fall again and we give up. We feel bad about ourselves, but sometimes we achieve our goals, and success always comes down to how badly we want it. A lot of spectators and self-appointed commenters, some openly on social media, assumed he used Ozempic. So he didn't use Ozempic. While he was nothing against these drugs, he did not. After Men's Health went to press, Jelly clarified that he did briefly try. Of course he did use it very early in his journey, but stopped after 2 weeks. He talked about several hours of intervals over the course of his years about how he was doing it. So he did do Ozempic, but stopped early. Food, he says. It's intrusive to know a little about the person he was about before he got it. Anyway, it doesn't fucking matter. You get the point. Jelly Roll looks good. Jelly Roll looks fucking good. Jelly Roll looks fucking fantastic. He's lost a bunch of weight. It kind of goes against his name and his image prior. But I think as an artist, you always get a chance to reinvent yourself. You know what I mean? So being an artist is the greatest opportunity to do so. So the fact that he can do so now in his older age must be a fucking great thing, because he was way too big before. That's fucking crazy. Look at some of these pictures when he was 26 years old. Like, weight really does age you, innit? Because you'd never think that person on the left was 26. Weight truly does age you. You'd never think that person on the left or the right was anywhere between their 30s or 20s. Fucking crazy, innit? So big up Jelly Roll, man. Incredible to see. Big up Blood Clot Jelly Roll. Big up Blood Clot Jelly Roll. I love to see it. I love to freaking see it. Big up Blood Clot Jelly Roll. Moving on. Before we end, let's talk a little bit about Berghain. Berghain have released their February 2026 lineup, and I am very, very excited and happy for it. It looks absolutely stupendous, and I cannot wait to dive in deep on it with you today, and also mention some dates that I'm looking at to visit over there in Berlin. Now, I did Google earlier, can you travel with a broken arm? And Google said, yeah. Google said you can travel with a broken bone. You just have to make sure that the cast is set. I think that's what I read. You have to make sure the cast is set. You have to make sure the cast is, I think it says a week, right? So I'm due to get my surgery next Friday. On the 16th, I'm due to get my surgery. So when I get my surgery on the 16th, yeah, that should be enough time by February to travel. I should be okay by then to travel. And I should have got used to having the cast, because it'll be the first time I have a cast. I've never broken a bone in my life. Despite all the skateboarding, all the skating I've done, all the football I've played, all the fucking parkour I've done when I was super young, I've never ever broken a bone. This is the first time in my life I've broken a bone, which is fucking crazy. So it should be okay by February. I'm pretty sure I should be okay to travel. Anyway, let's dive on deep. February 2026 Berghain program. First lineup. On the 5th of February, which is the Thursday, we got an NRBK night starring Norbak live Annie Mello Live, and Fergus Sweetland. Next night, on the 6th of February, we got a Telerama bar night, one of my favorites personally. You got Eldon Tyrell live, you got DJ Suburu live, you got Franz Scala live, you got Galleria Europa live, you got Leona Jauska live, you got Marsman live, and Tamtan live. By the way, who is Galera Europa? That's a fucking brilliant name, by the way. Who the fuck is that? Is that a group? Is that a person? Is that a DJ? One person? Is it a sound system? Who is Galleria Europa? Is that who they are? And More Dictionary Space. This can't be them, right? Who the hell is Galleria Europa? Let me check this out. Who is this person? Galleria Europa. Oh, is it this person? Daniele Baldelli. Is that his other name that he goes by? I'm not too sure. It doesn't share who Galleria Europa is on here. Let me check out this lineup on here. Okay, Galleria Europa is a back-to-back duo of Fabrizio Mamarella and Guila Gutera. That's who it is. Okay, cool. It's a back-to-back duo of two men, no? Or no, one man, one woman. Both Italian, if I can see here, right? Both Italiano. Okay, I understand now. Let's check out this Giulia Gutera person. Let's see what they play. I'm assuming it's going to be like disco, Italo type of stuff, right? Let me check out a recent mix. Let's check out this one here from Whole Festival, right? She played at Whole Festival. Okay, cool. So it's going to be a bit of a vibe. Yeah, I don't mind her. That sounds like a good lineup. I recommend that one, by the way. In case you're wondering, I recommend that Telerama bar 6th of February. Now, that seems like it's going to be a fun one, especially for the Pano bar crew out there that like that. And also, I think just to mix things up a bit, you know what you're going to get when it comes to techno and Berghain. Even if you haven't been there yet, you can kind of imagine what you're going to get. You can imagine the vibes. I think if you're going to go there for the first time, fuck going there on a regular night, on the regular club night on the Saturday and do the whole Berghain thing. Just go on the Friday. You probably have an increased chance of getting in anyway, I think. I'm not going to lie. I know it's the most popular club in the world. I get it. But you might have a better chance of getting in if you actually go on that particular day, on the Friday, instead of going on the Saturday, in my personal opinion. Anyway, the following Saturday, the 7th, the first club night of the month, features in Berghain. You got Don Williams, Eduardo de la Calle, Fidel playing, Mary Sakurai, Ogazon, UVB, and Virginia Legend. You got Pano Bar, you got Christian AB, one of my faves. You got David Ilemech playing, Huxley, Naomi, Natalie Robinson, Ryan Elliott, and Sassy J. So not the biggest names for the first night of, the first club night on Feb, but still a decent one. But if it was me, I'd probably pick going to the Telerama bar night first. Second week, you got a Weirdos night on the Thursday featuring Aku, DJ Skin, Chloe, Mac Deklos, and Mama Yaya. And on the Friday, you got a Live from Earth. Oh, these are always controversial, by the way. The Live from Earth lineups are always controversial because, the kind of crowd they attract and the people that they have playing and shit. People on the Berghain community subreddit at least don't seem to like them. On this particular one, you got Pano Bar, you got Courtesy, Interplanetary Criminal playing, Hobbsy, Jobsy, however you pronounce his name, I apologize. You got Klaxon DJ set, Jamie Reynolds, you got Margot XS with Kim Petras. Wow, Kim Petras is gonna be there. Kim Petras DJ set. I'm not mad at that. And Tigger. Blood clot. Tigger, long time. I'm not seeing Tigger. Wasn't Tigger recently talking about how much he hated performing in fucking Berghain or Pano Bar? Am I mistaken? Wasn't Tigger recently talking about how much he hated Berghain? Let me quickly check. I'm sure I remember Tigger saying something a bit crazy about not crazy, but saying some comments. Am I bugging out? Am I bugging that he was saying some comments about Berghain and shit? Maybe I'm bugging. Big up Tigger anyway. Long time. And then Berghain main room, we got DJ Gogola, someone called Izo Exo, Margot XS, Scream playing, legend from the UK, big up Scream, Up Sammy. And in Soul Room, we got Cheetah, Fez the Kid, Nia Archive, Sexy Lady Massive, and Shirley's Temper. Actually, I'm curious to see who is Fez the Kid. Who is Fez the Kid? I like that name. Who the fuck is Fez the Kid? Big blood clot. Let's check out who's Fez the Kid. Fez the Kid. Who are you? Okay, Fez the Kid's from Bristol. Fez the Kid's from Bristol. Fez the Kid is from Bristol. What does Fez the Kid do? What type of stuff do they play? Fez the Kid's got a new EP called Body Mover EP. Let's play the first track off this one. Big up Fez the Kid. Yeah, I can see the Zinger Show, episode number 994. Like, subscribe. Big up the Kick Chat. Big up the YouTube chat. We out here. Berghain February 2026 lineup program. We're going through it. Smash the like button. Get involved, get involved. Big up everybody watching, everybody tuning in worldwide. Wingers, Dingus, Wagwan. Big up everybody in the stream chat. Big up everybody checking in. Big up Fez the Kid. Big up On 10 Toes. Shades Cow, I see you. Booth Mid Campus, I see you. Keepy, I see you. Oh. Yeah. Fez the Kid's hard. Fez the Kid is hard as fuck. Fez the Kid is hard as fuck. If you're in Berlin on that particular weekend, I recommend check out Live from Earth Night. I know it's not got the best reputation on the subreddit, maybe on some of the socials because of their crowded tracks and it's a bit crazy and the lineups are a bit all over the place, but I quite like it. I quite like all over the place it is because some of the shit you probably won't ever hear somebody playing that in Berghain if it's not for fucking Live from Earth, sorry. If it's not Live from Earth programming, you probably will not hear that type of tunes, them type of rhythms played in fucking Berghain. Especially in Soul. Imagine what that's going to sound like in there. It's going to sound phenomenal. Especially with Nia Archives is there as well. Big up Nia Archives, UK stand up. I fucking love it. Check it out. Honestly, that seems like a blast. The 13th looks like it's going to be fun as fuck. On the 14th, Valentine's Day at Berghain features DJ Nobu, Justin Perry, Marlon, Oscar Mulero, Quiet Husband, Steffi, Lady Machine. Ooh, that's the one. That might be the one. That's a hell of a weekend, bro. That's a hell of a weekend. Friday, Live from Earth. Saturday, fucking Nobu, Marlon, Oscar Mulero, Steffi, Lady Machine. Fuck off. By the way, who's Quiet Husband? I don't know who Quiet Husband is. The Lady Machine's one of my favorite DJs, to be honest. I'd see her anywhere. But who is Quiet Husband? Okay, Quiet Husband's is a fella. Big up Quiet Husband. Let me check out Quiet Husband's section set. Big up section. Quiet Husband played in section recently. Well, let's see what they play. Fuck. Yo, big up On 10 Toes. Thank you for becoming a member, brother. Big up On 10 Toes. Thank you for becoming a member. Big up On 10 Toes. Thank you for becoming a member. You're a legend. Appreciate you. Make sure all members, if you want to access to the full stream after it's finished, become a member. Either become a member on the fucking Kick Chat. You can become a member over there and subscribe, or you become a member over here on YouTube by clicking the link in the description. Big up On 10 Toes. Appreciate you. Let's continue. It's alright. Quiet Husband's alright. It's alright. Nothing too crazy. It's alright. The big up Quiet Husband though. It's okay. But Quiet Husband's gonna be there. Steffi, Lady Machine in Berghain for the 14th of Valentine's Day. And then on that same day in Panorama, you have Cosmo, DJ Dustin, Lakuti, big up Lakuti, one of my faves as well. Nick Hopner, Richard Akipeming, Tama Sumo, and Veraco. But that is a great lineup. That 14th might be the standout. But I'd go back to back. I'd do both. Go both. Then the following week on the Wednesday, you got out of place artifacts with Sarah playing in Berghain Room on the Wednesday, which is weird. You don't really usually see a midday ones like that in Berghain Room, but that'd be interesting going on Berghain on the Wednesday. Saul on Thursday on the 19th, Decoder, someone called E2NMN, and also a person called Shaul. Then on the Friday, 20th of February, you got Love on the Rocks featuring Satoshi Tommy, Alex Dima, Alexia Glenzie, Dan Ganica. Oh, I haven't seen him in a while. Dan Ganica. That's that old school fucking deep house tech house guy, isn't it? I've not heard of him in a while. Paramida, Sonia Meinra playing, or Sonia Monia. And on the Saturday, 21st, you've got someone called Altin Bass, Chami, Grace Dow, she's good, Kaiser, Liza, Perfo, and Vera Longdanidi. Panorama, you got and Andrea Guluzzi, Eva B, Loidis, Matthias El Manzuri, Nix, Sugar Free, and Wallace. Not for me, that one. Thursday, you've got a Catagonic Siliento, Chloe Lula. Who else is there? Irene Amas and Pooja. And on the Friday, you've got Still City Dance Disc. You got Clouds, DJ Heart. That'll be a vibe. Clouds, DJ Heartstrings, Evis, Juicy Romance, back to back with Party Boy 69, which I'd love to see, by the way. I'd love to see Party Boy 69 in Berghain. I'm not gonna lie. That'll be a vibe. M.A. Shah, SCDD, Hazmat Team, X Coast, and then the last Berghain night of February is on the 28th. That features Answer Code Request, Clarissa Kimsky, Dax J, Len Faki, Nastia Regal, Renee Wise, Tasha, Lord of Fly Isles and Panobar, Gerd Jansen, Herv, John Spring, Leah Uchi, Natalie Seres, and M. Baumecker and Victor. So a pretty good lineup in general. One for the heads, not crazy, no big crazy names. If I'm gonna pick a night for myself, I'd pick a night for myself, I'd definitely recommend this one, the 14th. The 13th and the 14th of February, I'd definitely recommend that. But I wanna go, my weekend I'm planning to go to is on the 20th. So I'd have to make do with this lineup. But most likely if I go on the 20th, I wanna go see Freddie K play at fucking RSO. Freddie K is doing like an all-nighter. No, not all-nighter. He's doing a party there with other people. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's just him playing all night. But there's other people in the lineup. And it's going to be at RSO. It's all one price. There's no tiers. I think it's at 25 euros. So I'm probably going to go for that on the 20th. And then if I got time, I might do this later or whatever. But I think I'm primarily going for this on 20th. But if there's time, I'd also like to go to this weekend and just do the Friday, Saturday in and out. Because this is a good lineup, man. Live from Earth and that club now on the 14th are fucking great. So if I'd pick, I'd say the 13th and 14th of February are my faves, and then most likely the 13th or 14th are my faves, or the 6th. I'll say the 6th of February or the 13th or 14th will be my favorite when it comes to Berghain lineups. Honestly, really, really good lineups for February, especially considering it's the start of the year and shit. I don't really mind it at fucking all. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the Agostino Zinga Show, episode number 994. Thank you for tuning into the show. It's been a pleasure to have your company. If you're watching for the first time, like and subscribe to the channel on YouTube. If you're over there on the Kick side of things, I appreciate you too greatly. Make sure if you want to watch this on a replay that you subscribe, you become a subscriber on Kick. Be a subscriber on Kick. If you're not subscribed on Kick, you cannot watch this live stream on Kick later. So make sure you subscribe, and all live streams will be behind the paywall. Unfortunately, if you want to listen to the full thing via the audio, you can via the audio podcast platforms. But if you want to watch it in full via the video format, you have to be subscribed either on the Kick side of things, or you need to be subscribed over here on YouTube and become a member. Click a link down below via the YouTube to become a member, or click the subscribe button on Kick to watch it live yourself. For my tune of the day, before I leave you, I'm going to play my tune of the day. My tune of the day is courtesy of Viagra Boys, to kind of play on the fact that my health is now a bit shaky due to my broken arm, and to soothe me slightly, I'm going to play a track by Viagra Boys that came out on their album that dropped last year, their stellar fucking album that dropped last year, their title album that dropped last year. I'm going to play one of my favorite tracks on that album. It's called Pyramid of Health, courtesy of Viagra Boys. This is my song of the day. Thank you for tuning in to the Agostino Zinga Show, episode number 994. Click like, click subscribe, leave me a 5-star review, comments, all that appreciated. And I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Peace.
Hanging out with the camera down my throat, they say my stomach's nearly fried from eating cigarettes for breakfast. But if I follow 7 easy steps, I might avoid my death. The pyramid of health. So come on down, bring your sacrificial goat, and don't forget to wear your feathers and your silly little necklace. And get real high with the shrimp up in the sky, and you'll no longer fear your death. The pyramid of health. Stood on a mountain and I turned to dust. Little green worm said it wasn't enough, so it turned me back into a bag of meat. Gave me a liquid from a nearby tree. Said drink this sludge and you see what I mean. Pyramid of health is in everything. Turn me back into a bag of meat. The pyramid of health is in everything. Hanging around in a desert on a boat. Some guys yelling in my ear about eating cactuses for breakfast. And if I follow 7 easy steps, I'll see visions of my death. The pyramid of health. Stood on the mountain and I turned to dust. Little green worm said it wasn't enough, so he turned me back into a bag of meat. Gave me a liquid from a nearby tree.